So when it comes to heel versus babyface, I keep seeing people in the comment section, why do you keep calling him Nazi racist fascist guy? And the answer is because he is Nazi fascist racist guy. Heel versus babyface has a very notorious track record, and he often tries to manufacture an excuse for why he injects racism into his commentaries. Namely, he's responding to the racism against the white man, so he's only, I guess, playing fair against the other racists. But it's like, no, 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 he's pretty racist onto himself. It's a very, very strange discussion. Essentially, the EFAP was discussing Wonder Woman 1984, and for whatever reason, the babyface started to drift in some very weird territory that shocked even Mauler, Fringy, and Rags into, like, wait, what are you talking about?
The problem is that, like, to me, this is kind of like baffling because,
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, like I'm
Like if Pedro Pascal has a kid who's Asian, it means that he had sex with an Asian woman.
Do you know that? You don't know that.
Well, but it wouldn't matter.
You know what? I don't. You know what? I don't know that, but I have an extremely high level of justifiable confidence that that is the case.
Yeah.
Well, to make sure, right?
I'm just saying it's weird, and it's just should be.
I don't know. That's how people work, though.
On too many levels for me.
I mean, America's a good old melting pot, right? Like, it's not going to be unusual. Yep. I don't know. I can at least understand that you're saying there's a.
To provide some background, basically we have Maxwell Lord's son, and it's being played by Pedro Pascal, which I'm sure did not help because Pascal is on record comparing the Trump people to Nazis, which I agree with because a lot of them are. But to be even more consistent, Obama and Trump did some pretty horrific things to Central American children and a whole bunch of other people too. They're both pretty monstrous. However, in terms of the narrative, his point is because apparently Maxwell's son doesn't look, I guess, Latin American enough for him. He looks too Asian. Therefore, bad story. You broke the objecto, plot narrativo, objectivity logic. And no, the EFAP is puzzled. Like, wait, what are you talking about?
Go through it.
But why is it illogical that his kid looks the way that he does? I don't.
But you don't know. No, but you see, because you are making the logical assumption. You're making your assumption.
Yes.
Not you're making the assumption. You're not working off what the film has provided for you.
Correct.
Yes,
but the thing is, when, say, for example, Max, it's a montage of him talking to Wonder Woman, and then he enters his building. Would you understand if I said I need to see him driving in order to see him get to these two places?
About to use that example.
No, I think they're completely different things. Completely different things.
I think they're exactly the same.
But why? Why do you think that they're meaningfully different?
Because Max is an adult, and it's normal to assume that he can drive a car. It's the child bit.
Women.
All right, I mean, disagree. Fine. You don't have to. I'm not asking for an agreement here.
Well, yeah, you find Asian women hot, right?
It's really fucking silly in a film that's devoid of logic, that doesn't make a lot of sense anyway through the film, that you just keep putting these what I would class as silly little things with no explanation given.
It's pretty shocking that Rags, who has been caught making quite a few very, very racist and derogatory remarks, not even in the ancient past. He's said this quite often. Nevertheless, I would have to concede here that Rags, yes, is a racist too, but he's definitely way more moderate than the heel versus babyface, who just went full-blown Hitler. I guess from his perspective, all these groups and individuals need to meet a kind of racially pure blood standard, and this kid is just too Asian for him, and that really, really bothered him. Now, I tried to do additional research. I don't think we know for sure, but I will just speak from personal experience as a person of color, and specifically from Latin America, that's actually fairly normal. It's normal for two reasons. One, yes, there are Asian people in Latin America. If you go to Latin America, sometimes you will find Asian people. They're not foreigners, they're not visitors. They've been there for quite a while. So first, he's just insanely ignorant of Latin America. Secondly, just from my own family and other families, I've noticed that, yeah, Latin American families can have family members who are very, very dark skinned and very, very light skinned. They're in the same family. No one is shocked by this. People in Latin America are aware that, again, Latin America can have many shades. So he still has no point whatsoever. If you still want to defend Heel versus Babyface, that's fine, but he's on record. He just does keep going back to these very weird Hitler standards of, oh, you're not really African, you're not really British, you're not really... Why? Because you're not really black, you're not really white. What are you? You're disturbing me. It's like, okay, well, mixed race people are a thing, my guy. I guess you're going to have to just live with, not everyone has the Hitler brain that you do. And if you don't like that, well, that's your problem.